Welcome to Puerto Rican Nocturne, a joint production of The Bug Theater, Idea Stages, Sojourners Project, Sasquatch, and Control Group Productions. Thank you to these companies and to our generous supporters during our Indiegogo campaign. Please help us spread the word by finding us on Instagram at PRNocturnePlay. During the show, please be aware that there will be simulated gunfire. We will also have a 15-minute intermission. Please take a moment to silence your cell phones and other noise-making devices. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Ahora.
When did the plan first come about?
July 3rd, the Chilean consulate incident.
Why? What about that event inspired what happened at Cerro Maravilla?
It was the anger. I've known those kids for 2 years and I never seen them so angry. Seemed like an opportunity.
How so? Nationalists are always angry. It's a sport for them.
That standoff lasted what? 18 hours, give or take? At the beginning, everyone was glued to their TVs. We were at Arnaldo's place in Atorrey, just me and him and one other guy, I don't remember, but when the news announced the nationalists had taken hostages and had full control over the consulate, Arnaldo started calling everybody he knew. I never heard him so excited, and in that room, it was palpable. There was an energy. When they started making demands to free the political prisoners, it was like the days of Albizu, of really sticking it to the man. I saw it in all their faces. This was the moment. The moment that everything was going to change and the revolution was going to come and it would be glorious. Within an hour, about 10 other guys showed up, including Quique.
The other victim, Carlos...
Yeah, we called him Quique. He had rolled with us for about a year. Good kid, just fucking stupid. Misguided, like the rest of them, I guess.
You were saying everyone was at the apartment, excited, cheering on the nationalists.
And right before July 4th, that was the kicker. Get the U.S. to free convicted terrorists on their biggest national holiday. The biggest fuck you possible, right?
And when it went south?
Devastation. You can't even imagine. The minute negotiations went in the cops' favor, Arnaldo and the others started talking about how action needed to be done, how we couldn't just let the government win again. You know, you hang around nationalists long enough and disappointments are pretty common. People bitch and moan and make threats, but they're empty 99% of the time. But this was rage. Saw it in the eyes of everybody in that room. The potential for something big.
So you had them rob guards at La Yupi.
We needed an arsenal, had to start somewhere.
And use those very guns to shoot into Munoz Marin's house.
We lit them up.
What about the bomb attempt? You called that in before any damage could be done.
Didn't feel right.
Other officers have done it. In fact, a couple groups got taken down with that tactic. Why not use it?
I was worried something was gonna go wrong. That area was too busy.
Why set up a bomb in a place where civilian casualties was likely if you weren't willing to risk that?
They did it without me. Once I found out, I called it off again. It was too risky.
Unlike Cerro Maravilla.
That That was in my control. The car bomb wasn't. And anyway, the bomb itself wasn't important. It was just a way of getting their respect, their trust. But I was all in just as they were. They had to believe that I believe we would not let the embarrassment of July 3rd keep us from launching our revolution. That was the atmosphere I was dealing with.
So who came up with the plan for each of these acts of resistance?
I did.
So they already followed you.
Of course, you know that.
Then why set up a bomb that wouldn't go off?
That piece of shit wasn't gonna do much damage, really. I think.
Which is it? You were afraid of casualties, or the bomb was a dud? Or is it that you're a fucking idiot? Look, if you're having trouble answering this question, the rest of this interview will be very unpleasant.
Look, I just needed them angry enough so they can buy into the Cerro Maravilla plan.
Did you receive any guidance or approval from your superiors for this plan?
Yes and no.
Which is to say no.
Have you met Capitan Morales? Do you know what kind of person he is?
He's godfather to my oldest. I'd like to think I know him very well.
Then you know his attitudes and how he recruits.
Depends on what you're referring to.
When he recruited me in high school, he made it very clear how he felt about nationalists.
Alejandro Gonzales Malave. So, we finally meet. Detective Olivera speaks very highly of you. He says that you're ready for a new perspective. Our country is at risk, hijo. Pero you already know that, right? And not from the Russians. That school that you go to, the guy who fixes your father's car, your mother's favorite carnicero, even those teachers, those so-called educators. Mira, you go to Carmelita's Panaderia, right? Like all the other chamaquitos in the neighborhood. Did you know that Angelica, she is a registered independentista? Her father, he was involved in La Revolución, 1950. You think I'm wrong? You think that all of these people that you've trusted your life with, you really know them? Ay, hijo. Alejandro, for every independentista that we know about, there are 5 in hiding. All walking around like Juan Bobo, law-abiding citizen. Pero in their closet, they have a bandera de Lares, a large portrait of Albizu, una bandera puertorriqueña. You think that you know someone for years, that they're a good person, God-fearing, proud, trustworthy. Pero deep down, they want nothing more than to destroy the United States of America, the last bastion of freedom. These Puerto Ricans, they would threaten our peace and prosperity. Those Puerto Ricans, they would hand us over to Fidel and the comunistas. That is, of course, unless good men like you and me We break through those lies. And we bring those conspirator cabrones to justice. Follow me. Let's go to Carmelita's Panadería. Mira, tienen un pastelillo de guayaba para chuparte los dedos. Who knows? Angelica might even give it to us for free. Para tapar el macho.
He always said, Puerto Ricans, they don't know what they want. They have to be told. Sometimes forcibly.
That does sound like Capitan Morales.
I knew he would approve.
Of assassinating 2 unarmed men?
It would have been 5 had the others not chickened out. Then I would have really been a hero. Could be governor even now. I'll be lucky if I even get just more than a promotion.
You executed 2 unarmed men, 1 a minor.
They were terrorists. They might have been operating under my orders, but they planned on blowing up those towers. A serious crime which me and my men prevented heroically.
I didn't realize being shot in the pinky by your own men was heroic.
A serious wound, mind you.
A fucking child's wound. Did the bullet even graze bone? Why the fuck do you have a splint on, for Christ's sake?
It's a cover, all right?
Okay.
What if they had escaped? They could have pinned the whole thing on me. I had to do something.
So while you whisked away, treating your wound, you had directed the other agents to beat and kill the 2 victims.
Stop calling them victims. They were wannabe terrorists.
You see that? Yeah, that's what your men did while you were off at the hospital treating your flesh wound. That was your plan, no?
Yes. Well, not being shot at the pinky, that was unintended. They were just supposed to
Speaking of unintended fuck-ups, Jose Molina.
Who?
The cab driver. The person you kidnapped to drive you all the way to Cerro Maravilla instead of, I don't know, driving your own fucking self? Or having him drop you off far away from the events that he wouldn't see the whole goddamn mess.
And he wasn't killed.
Precisely. Why not?
Que sé yo, I don't have an answer for that.
You're gonna need one.
Look, things escalated much quicker than I expected.
You have a witness.
And we're cops. Who they gonna believe, huh? Some ignorant taxista, really?
I've sat here for the last 10 minutes listening to your excuses, which are only slightly different from the other agents, because all they seem to know is you offered them a chance to make some noise, which you did. You gave them the plans, and they acted accordingly. Do you not understand why you are here? We needed the whole story so we could navigate this shit show courtesy of you and your friends. This is not a place for excuses or justifications, defenses. This isn't a fucking court. This room should be the last place you ever reveal what really happened 2 days ago. Because contrary to your low regard for nationalists, they do have a following. And not all of them are bullshitters. You know the macheteros?
Of course.
Bet you wish you had infiltrated them, don't you?
Yeah, do some real work.
After seeing how you fucked up some low-level activists, this department and yours truly is glad that wasn't the case. The macheteros would have slit your throat the moment you walked through the door. And if they ever find out what happened 2 days ago, you won't even know they're coming for you. You'll be walking your fucking dog or stepping out of your car, shit, taking a shower, and next thing you know, a bullet to the fucking head.
Bring it then, I can handle them.
Says the puto that went to the hospital for a pinky wound. Fucking idiot.
Look, I know things seem bad now. There's a lot of complications and we're gonna have to get our story straight. I get that. But I just gave you, this department, and Gobernador Romero Barceló the biggest blow against independence movement since Albizu died. We can take what happened on this mountain and we can turn it into a rallying call. against all these commies who want to turn Puerto Rico into a dictatorship. We won. America won. And if the macheteros do kill anyone, even if they kill me, that's just further proof of the kind of oppression the nationalists would commit if they were ever given power. You should be thanking me for the work I've done.
That right there, we can't have that. If we're all gonna get out of this clean, we're gonna need you to keep your cool. You think you're such a great actor, hmm? You think you're an elite cop. Prove it to me. Prove to me that a high school recruit who didn't even go to the academy, who's had minimal formal training, deserves to keep his job, let alone get a promotion. Keep your fucking cool. You dig?
What do you need from me?
I want you to repeat after me. And what I say, those are the only words that you'll repeat out in public. Repeat after me.
Yes, sir.
The shooting at Cerro Maravilla
The shooting at Cerro Maravilla
was an act of self-defense.
was an act of self-defense.
The suspects were armed and fired first.
The suspects were armed and fired first.
The agents on the scene did everything to de-escalate the situation.
The agents on the scene did everything to de-escalate the situation.
The agents defended themselves in accordance with the law.
The agents defended themselves with accordance with the law.
Do you have any questions?
When can I speak to Capitan Morales?
When Capitan Morales is ready to speak to you, you'll know.
My mother buried 3 of her children, all younger than 5. I never understood how she found the strength to go on. I wish she were alive so I could ask her. But no matter what she said, I still wouldn't understand. I will never be happy again. You will always be missing from me. I don't remember life before you. Sometimes I think that I'm remembering something from my childhood only to realize it was yours. I was just a child, still a stupid child, praying the rosary with my abuela and believing everything the church and schools taught me. I thought if I raised you outside of that world, I'd protect you from all the dumb lies we are sold. That if you saw the world for what it is, that you wouldn't be so trusting of the wrong people. Last night I couldn't sleep. I miss your voice. I fear I'm losing it already. I fear once I forget how you sounded, I'll lose you once again and all I'll be left with are my mistakes.
How are you holding up, querida mía?
What is that even? I exist. Good, bad. What does that even describe?
Words fail us in moments like these. You'd think with all the death in our history, we'd be better suited to times like this.
When he was born and I held him, I had no words either. Love is what we call it. But that's like saying a sunset is beautiful. How can you describe so many colors and textures with a word like beautiful? I kissed his forehead and I called him mi amor. But not even that word could capture the light that radiated from me when I held him. Love is such a bland word for the most wonderful feeling of your life. And now whatever is the opposite of that is what I feel.
What do you need from me?
Maybe you can light up some candles for me?
Yes, of course.
And maybe do one of your Santera rituals and curse the people who did this.
You know it doesn't work like that.
Then end me so I can be with him.
That's not funny. You're trying to be funny, right?
I wouldn't do that to you. I'd let you leave the room first.
We've been through so much together. The last thing I ever thought I'd see is you giving in to despair. What would Kike say?
So not only is my son dead, but now I have to be an example for his corpse?
I'm trying to help. Don't take this out on me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Come here.
Thank you. Oh, I miss his hugs.
Could we have a minute?
Yes, of course. I'll be right outside, okay?
More people are arriving. How much longer do you need?
I wish this wake could just be us.
Well, I can't tell everyone to go home. A lot of people loved Kike and they want to say goodbye too.
My heart is heavy. Like a black hole is growing inside of me.
I know. I don't know whether to scream or to cry.
You didn't let any press in, did you?
No. Octavio and Jose made sure of it. They did catch a reporter from the Star and another from El Nuevo Dia.
They have no respect.
They're just doing their jobs. That doesn't make it right, but what the hell is right about any of this?
I want to bury my son. They want to sell papers.
It doesn't help that Arnaldo's family has given them full access.
His father is famous, you know? He's used to media circuses. And plus, a man like that thinks that turning his son's death into a cause is a way of showing his love.
Not everyone grieves the same, Adria. And being in his position, wouldn't you want to use whatever clout you have to bring your child justice?
Is that what you want to do?
He's trying to unite the Pipiolos with the other nationalist groups. One voice like we always needed. He called me last night. Said they were trying to form a civil suit. Get those cops on the stand, catch them in a lie. If together we could show the estadistas for who they really are. If this tragedy can change the tide of public opinion towards independence, then their deaths won't be in vain.
He wasn't your son.
I know that's just your anger talking.
He was Rogelio's son. But you being such a good friend, you rolled right on the moment he left, didn't you?
I raised him since he was a toddler.
You didn't carry him.
He was
He didn't
my
have your
son.
face. You know, he might as well have been a stranger.
Why are you doing this? Do you think I'm not hurting? You think I'm not furious and just trying to find some way of making this right?
It will never be right. What if the cops are lying? What if they get caught? What if the entire Estadista establishment is crushed and the whole movement torn to shreds? Quique's not coming home.
And if we do nothing? If we do nothing, then Quique dies all over again. His death won't have had a meaning because we wouldn't have fought for him.
Pimping out his memory for political gain is not fighting for him. It's exploiting our pain. It's exploiting his life. I don't miss him because it can score me political points at a goddamn rally. I miss him because he's my son, because I raised him.
We raised
him. Go to hell! When you were busy at your meetings and your marches, I was wiping his ass and making sure he was clothed and fed and safe. You're the one that had him marching and protesting at 80 years old. You're the one that told them all about going to Alvisu's funeral and how you knew Antonia and how your father fought in the revolution. You made it all so exciting and noble and fake.
Mentira.
It was all fake,
No.
and now he is
No.
dead,
No.
and it's your fault.
You were ecstatic that we were bonding. And last time I checked, you were at those marches too. Every week, reading speeches by Albizu and Betances and holding his hand and glorifying the movement just as much. Don't you dare put this on me.
Y este revolu. Everyone can hear you outside.
It was nothing.
It's not nothing. You want to politicize his death.
You're twisting my words.
Ya basta. Eusebio, whatever this is not the time.
All I was saying is that God has his reasons. God, he put Quique on this earth for a purpose. Some people, that they make their mark while they're still alive. Others have to wait until they're dead to make an impact. Quique can change the entire course of our history, but only if we act.
God is an excuse people make so they don't kill themselves in despair.
Eusebio, I see where you're coming from, but
Oh, of course you agree with him now.
I agree with you too. Your son is gone. That's what today's about, right, Eusebio?
Right. Yeah, everybody's waiting. We only have an hour left with him. You don't need to say anything. People will understand.
I need 5 minutes, okay?
I'll let everyone know.
What did you see in them, mijo? What made you think you could trust them?
Since the beginning, there have been countries that lead and those who follow. Even though you're young, younger than you look, it is clear to me that you want Puerto Rico to be one of those leaders. And while I share your desire to see our people pull the trigger of our destiny, I will not deceive you. We are followers. But all countries begin as followers. The decision to overcome the expectation of others and pursue becoming an empire is one made by a minority. The majority are lazy idiots, addicted to comfort and easy solutions. In order to change the world, a minority of savage men must take on the responsibility to commit the crimes that average men are too cowardly to do. You must have more courage. 10 times more than all those idiots sitting on their sofas waiting for a change that will never come. You must be willing to die 1,000 deaths. And above all else, you must carry within you the desire to kill whoever tries to block your progress. You must be a monster for your motherland. Patria o muerte.
Hola, Gonzo. Me llamo Maricarmen. I saw you speak last year at Antonia's memorial, and when Rosita said you would be here, I had to meet you. Your passion, your resolve for our people. So many are giving up. So many believe that it's the end of our nation, our culture, that America will erase us like they have other minorities.
Wow. I'm very touched. Thank you. But I'm just one man, and one man alone can't change the world, but if I can inspire someone, I'm happy it was you.
All my friends speak the world of you. To be honest, I've had a sort of rocky relationship with the independentistas. I think they can be arrogant and self-serving, short-sighted. Please don't throw Rosita, but I've only ever voted for the Populares. I guess I'm more of a soberanista and independentista. But what you said at that memorial made me start to think otherwise. That there will always be challenges, there will always be setbacks. But what about the struggles that exist now? If we can live with them, why can't we live with new struggles? Ones that are on our terms.
I think it's good to listen to your heart. You don't have to buy into what anybody else thinks. You know what's right for you. That's all I've done. Speak from the heart. The others like what I say. It's just a bonus.
Qué humilde. You know, you could be the next Alviso if you wanted to.
No, exagera.
It's
no,
true.
No,
all
no.
the groups on campus, a socialist, spoopy, a communist, they all think the world of you.
Well, the last thing I would want is to be one of those arrogant nationalist types.
I can tell your heart is good. And your smile, it's not bad either.
Most girls would not be so forward.
I'm a new kind of woman.
Good. Because these old ones bore me.
How can we afford our house? You work odd jobs and... Actually, what is your job? You're always leaving at different times and going...
I have a lot of side hustles, Mari. Some of it is under the table, but it's nothing illegal, I promise. You know it's hard having a job as a nationalist.
Are you being honest with me? It's not another woman, is it?
Mari, as much as you suck on my neck, don't you think you would have smelled another woman by now? I'm not like that. I just pay our bills, and that's all that should matter.
There's something you're not telling me.
Mari. This life is dangerous. Cops are trailing us all the time. There's rumors of spies infiltrating all the groups a la Yupi. I had to kick someone out last week because we couldn't verify his whereabouts. San Juan is a bomb ready to go off, and I'm in charge of a dozen men who rely on me to keep them out of jail. I have so much shit going on without you asking me what I'm doing or where our money's coming from. Mari, trust me. That's all I ask.
I can't even look at you.
Can you understand why I lied to you?
You were always talking about spies when it was you all along.
Not just me, Mari. The independence movement is full of spies. Some high school recruits like me, some are veteran cops, even the feds.
You're a stranger.
You have known me for 4 years. The only thing I've ever lied to you about are my politics and my profession. There's more to a person than just that.
Now I understand why your father was always so disapproving. You never told him, did you?
I couldn't tell anyone. I tore him apart. He thought I had betrayed him.
Could I have died too, without knowing?
It was gonna come out sooner rather than later, Mari.
So what do you believe?
That Puerto Rico should be a state. We are Americans. We're on the side of freedom, and if I didn't do this work, we'd all be communists.
Oh, you were our sole defense from the Russians.
Not just me, people like me. The work we do protects the United States.
What do you think of me?
Baby, I love you.
Really? You love your soberanista wife.
That's just politics. I know you as a person, Mari. Your politics are just a cute thing about you.
Those are my beliefs, they're not some cute
Hey,
thing!
okay. I'm sorry. I love you. Things are gonna get weird, and I need you by my side.
You lied to me for 4 years.
I had no choice. I did it to protect you. I did it out of love.
What else are you hiding?
Nothing, I swear.
Is the story even true? Were they terrorists?
Yes, they were. We did what we had to do now, Mari. Things are gonna get crazy, but we're gonna be better off in the end, okay? You've been wanting to work more, and there's an opening at the precinct that I think you'll be good for. It's full time.
Why do you want me to work at your precinct?
There's gonna be a lot of people talking about me, and I wanna make sure there's someone I trust nearby to look out for me, to look out for us.
Kike, mijo, we need to talk. Your father told me what you said after the rally yesterday. Óyeme, he was right to get upset. These are dangerous times, Chico, and people like us are targets. Estaditas look down on us. They call us communists, traitors, terrorists. They have been brainwashed into thinking that their own people are foreigners and that they belong with the Americans. They turn Puerto Ricans against Puerto Ricans by making us think they're our friends when all they want is to make us slaves to the United States. They are nothing more than pawns of the FBI. And if you think this threat is something distant, it's happening in our own circles, huh? Spies are everywhere, mijo. You need to be vigilant. And speaking of which, your father said you yelled at a cop? Chico, you know the story of Antonia. Be careful of cops. Eres negro. Tu estadista, you're not even human. But if you believe in their cause, they treat you like a pet. Black and a nationalist. Mijo, the cops already have enough reasons to kill you. Why give them another? Escúchame. When you're confronted by a cop, you remember your manners. Never look them in the eye. Keep your hands away from your pockets and do not raise your voice. Any excuse, mijo, will be the end of you. And the end of you is the end of me.
I pulled the gun. I know, stupid. Me and Mari got into it that morning on the way to the beach. She kept changing the fucking radio. So when that Maricarmen rear-ended me, first thing I did was reach for my gun. Reporters hounded me for months. I was tired, fucking agotado. The disrespect. First that cunt and someone who can't even fucking drive. I shot at the ground, not like he had to go to the hospital. Okay, he wasn't a reporter. I was in the wrong. I can admit that. Can you blame me? Being a cop is hard. Civilians have no respect. Anybody would crack from time to time. Give me a break. You know how difficult
this has been. The worst day yet. Why can't we have a day of quiet? Always has his friends over. All they talk about is the case, the witness, how his story is different, the calls for investigation, Cerro Maravilla, every other word, Eusebio. I don't want to talk about the case in our house. Quique's grave isn't even cold. Can we show him some respect? Every day, carajo, if I hear the name of that stupid mountain one more time, I'm going to take a bottle of pitorro and I'm going to start swinging. I swear, I've had enough. I just want to wake up. No visitors, no press waiting to take pictures. I had to put blinds on my front patio. Can't even go to the grocery store. I hear the TV. I hear the reports, and then at night I wait for Eusebio to go to sleep. I walk around the house, only thing I hear, coquis. Their song soothes me. It's the only noise I enjoy. Can't even listen to music because every song brings back another memory. My eyes hurt from the tears, afraid my insides are flooded. The goddamn talking all day ripped me to shreds. Their laughter rage at the stupid news, stupid revolution makes me sick all the time. I want to scream. What will talking about revolution do for anyone? What did it do for Quique?
What did you think was gonna happen? Throw me a parade when I showed up to the governor's re-election celebration? I stood there like a fucking idiot. 3 hours, nobody talked to me. He only won this election because of me. The independentistas have terrified this country. Hurt our economy. The strikes, protests, a la UP. The professors teach the students. Hate the United States. How can you hate the United States? It's like hating Jesus, for fuck's sake. A public institution, taxpayer dollars, educating our youth to be commie terrorists. I sent the message. If these morons didn't have to head up their asses, they had seen the message work. We are Americans. You don't want to be an American? Go to the fucking Soviet Union like the Negritos in Cuba. Every God-fearing white Cuban. This third world shithole for America. No other place worse on this fucking planet. You don't want to recognize what I've done for you, Romero? Yeah, give that speech. Give that speech like you won this election all by your fucking self. I smack sense into this fix for you, our party, our future in 10 years. I tell you, in 10 years, when you're still governor, you'll be thanking me, cabrón. Soon the rest of Puerto Rico will come around to statehood. I did that. You're nothing without me.
Who is that even anymore? I can't be like Eusebio. Find comfort in my beliefs. Every time his friends come over talking about rallies, speeches, in honor of Quique, using this moment to expand our movement, win elections, I feel sick. I know it makes him happy. He's honoring Quique. It's bullshit. How do you turn a death into a victory? It's denial. That's all denial that our movement is winning when we are 6 feet under the ocean. Empty promises, empty phrases, empty hope. Yet that's who I was if it had happened to a friend. Wouldn't I be trying to inspire them, motivate them? Wouldn't I try to use this tragedy to my advantage? I can't even say anymore. I'm not that person. She's a stranger. She loved being outside, traveling, seeing her friends, the smell of bacalao, flamboyanes, the taste of cocoa, listening to the waves, laying down on the sand, looking up at the sky at sunset. So many reasons to live. They all sicken me now.
Who am I to complain? I got a promotion flying helicopters, rescue missions like the hero I am. Who am I kidding? It's only slightly better than a desk job or a pickup. I don't even get paid more. We had to move through some vandals, spray painted our house, kept getting death threats, had to move to a new house, more expensive, same pay. I can't even pay my bills on time, yet Mari working the dignity of it all like a black hole's growing inside of me.
I wish I had a gun. It would be quick, just below the chin. I won't feel a thing. It would be over. What if I die? It's just darkness, no heaven, purgatory, hell. My soul suspended, missing my son for eternity. I can't find my way through the darkness. I could be wrong. There could be heaven. He would be there. How is that not a delusion too? Like freedom, happiness in its pursuit. What did I do to deserve this pain?
Wasn't I
loyal? Always kept my word.
Why don't you care? Goddammit, if this is a test, then fuck!
You have done nothing but make me suffer.
Make me look like a clown.
A fucking Joe.
If I was a clown for a cause to not be another spake. Fuck this city. Fuck this island. Fuck this life.
Fuck! Is it true?
What are you talking about?
You told me the taxista was lying when he said those boys were unarmed. You said he was trying to become famous?
Yes, that's true. He's just some dumb hero trying to make a buck.
Did you kill those boys?
Where? is this coming
Did
from?
you?
Mari, mi amor, tú
No,
sabes
no,
que...
no. Don't try to be Sue with me. You've asked a lot of me, and I've always been there for you. Under the condition that you don't lie to me anymore. Did you kill those boys?
No.
Then why does everyone at the precinct say you did?
I'm a scapegoat. That's why, Mari. It's all lies.
That's not all they say. Other cops are saying these things to me. How are you going to discredit them? Come in, mierda. Did you kill those boys?
No. No. I left before they were killed.
Why did the other officers kill them?
I ordered them to do so.
You ordered them to do so. All because of politics? Because they didn't think the way you do? What about your soberanista wife?
Baby, I love you.
You don't know what love is, you fucking monster! You humiliated me for years with your lies and manipulations, and I let you! I used to have dignity, and I let you take it all away from me. Turn me into a fool. A fucking tonta. It's over.
Don't say that.
Or what? You're gonna order my death too? Because you're too much of a cabrón cobarde to do it yourself? A real man would strangle me with his own 2 hands. Squeeze the life out of me, so do it. Prove that you're a man. Prove it!
You need to calm down. Lay down and get some rest. You had a long day at work.
And I'm about to have a long night of packing my things and finding a lawyer.
Mari, don't do this. Don't let this be the end.
This charade never existed. I married a fiction. I told you the night we met that I was a new kind of woman. Most Boricua women would run to their rooms and cry and play the martyr while their husband fucks their life. That's the old kind of woman. The kind you said bores you. Another fucking lie. You spent 6 years of my life trying to make me into one of them. But I don't lie. And I won't be anyone's martyr.
En ese sentido, ¿usted cree que usted cumplió con su deber?
Yo cumplí con
como
mi
su
deber.
hijo en Irak. Sí,
Como
está en
yo,
Irak.
como-
O sea que cuando al usted hablar del gatillo, ¿usted piensa que cumplió con su deber?
No.
Ah, pues entonces
Son,
no me
cosas,
van a
son
decir
cosas
que no.
diferentes. Son cosas diferentes. Yo estaba allí porque el deber me puso allí.
Por lo tanto, no se arrepiente porque estaba cumpliendo con su deber.
No. Yo me arrepiento de haber dado muerte a Soto Rivera.
Ok.
Yo me arrepiento. Pero los hechos ocurrieron de una forma que nunca el pueblo siempre ha tratado de llevar el pueblo que nosotros quisimos asesinarlos. Y eso es mentira. Eso es mentira. Lo que pasó allí pasó por un momento, por un lapso de momento que ocurrió. Jamás nosotros pensamos allí en matar a nadie. Jamás.
the nationalists like to talk about how history was written by the conquerors, that our understanding of our culture is tainted by ideas and perspectives that prevent us from truly valuing our culture. It is an attractive idea. A few times I thought about it, and it gave me doubts about my beliefs, about the things my father would say, about Morales and his certainty for our cause. What if we're wrong for supporting the conquerors, huh? For trying to be like them? Huh? No. No. We can never be like them because we're losers. We're fucking losers. That's a hard thing to stomach, right? To be losers your whole fucking life. To know that any achievement you ever do, that your people ever do, will never be on the same level as what a white person does. You can't outrun who you are deep down. No. You can bleach your skin, strain your hair, marry a white person, and have blue-eyed children who don't speak Spanish, and you will still be a spick. You Puerto Rican spick at that. Bottom of the barrel, incapable of doing anything without welfare programs. Our best governor is still the worst governor in the U.S. Blacks think that if you do things 10 times as good as a white man, then you can make it, no? For Spigs, it could be 100 times as good, and it still wouldn't be enough.
Pase? Cariño, would you like something to drink?
You got any rum?
You know I don't drink liquor.
Bueno, pues, jugo de acerola.
Yes, of course. So, what's new? How's Eusebio?
The same.
Did you talk to him about what you told me last week?
I could scream in his ears and he still wouldn't hear me, you know?
He's your spouse. He should know what you're going through.
He doesn't really suffer like me. He has meaning to his life. What the hell do I have?
Adria, I love you, but...
You're tired of my shit?
I didn't say that.
Oh, you don't have to, I know. You're my last friend. I'm sure you think I should go with Eusebio to the Senate hearings.
You don't?
For what? I have no reason to be there.
Adria, I know in the past you haven't wanted to, but have you thought about seeing someone?
I don't care for your witch doctors.
Con los santos, no se juega, mama.
Or what? Are they gonna kill me? Oh, I wish they would, and then I'd definitely fuck with them more.
Look, you don't have to believe in the spirits, but in my house, you will respect them.
I don't need any help, okay? I just want to be left in peace.
You know, Your friends, all of us, even though you think we've abandoned you, you're wrong. We all miss you, especially at the meetings. There's a protest this Saturday. Maybe it would help if you came out and spent some time with your community.
How many protests have you been to, huh? And how much has changed?
Change is a slow process.
Oh, of course. Sure. Convenient.
God damn it, Adria. Before you were so revolutionary. You inspired me more than anybody else. One time you slapped a cop, and when they arrested us, you spent the whole night in the holding cell reciting Albizu. Remember that time that you spit on that senator in San Juan? That's the Adria I knew.
Well, that Adria had a son, so.
Mama, please don't hate me. I understand your sadness. I understand that you're still experiencing so much pain because of what happened to Kike, but you don't have to let it destroy your life. You don't have to run away from all the things that matter to you, that you fought so hard for. Querida mía, you were always more than just a mother. You were a warrior, too.
Are you telling me how I should mourn the death of my son?
It's been 5 years.
Only a fucking bitch who can't have children would say something so cruel.
Really? You were the bravest woman I had ever known. Now you're nothing more than a coward.
I'm a coward. Me? I'm still here. I didn't jump off a bridge or take a bottle of pills. I get out of bed every day. I put on my clothes, I go to work, and I support the family that I have left. But you have the nerve to give me a sermon, even though you've never had children or been married? What the hell do you know about bravery? You dare judge me because I don't give speeches with a stoic face in order to inspire young people to hope? Hope for what? Don't you see that everything I did pushed my son closer to death? You know, I killed my son, and so did you and Eusebio and our friends, and Teresa, I'm sorry. I don't know how to move on. I don't know how to be a friend or a good person. I'm lost.
Cariño, listen to me. The movement didn't kill your son, and neither did you. The United States brainwashes us into thinking that we can't take care of ourselves. We don't believe that we can survive without them, like they're the only savior in this world. And maybe it's weakness on our part, but we keep waiting for someone to come and make our dreams come true that isn't a white man. That's why we need people like you to show Boricuas that no matter how great the tragedy, they can never crush our spirit because we are the people that we've been waiting for.
You think I'm an idiot?
Never.
Well, I'm not your puppet, and Kike isn't the key to our freedom.
You misunderstood me.
Okay, explain it to me then. Explain to me how the death of my son helps this failed movement. This movement that is nothing more than promises and has no future. Damn it, it couldn't even use the most obvious time in the history of our island to rise up. But if Kike's death is so important, why aren't we free? Why was that son of a bitch governor reelected? Why did the Populares take control of the investigation? Why la gente taking out to the streets demanding our independence? Where's the support for change? Where is the promised revolution? Where is the justice?
Justice isn't a straight line. Sometimes it stalls and loses its focus, but if we keep struggling for our truth, then justice will come. We don't fight for justice because it's going to be quick or easy. We fight knowing that the results may not happen in our lifetime.
Then justice is not even going to come for the men who killed my boy.
I don't want to say that. Every crime causes the soul to suffer, and that suffering lasts a lifetime, even after death.
You know I don't believe in spirits.
It's not a question of spirits. It's about finding another way to carry on.
I don't know how. Call me pathetic. Call me a coward. I am so tired of this world. I am so sick of putting on a mask so that I can make other people more comfortable. You know what? I'm so sorry that I can help you feel better about my son's death.
That isn't what I was...
No, that is exactly what it is. The movement is your child. The difference is you continue to believe yours is alive.
You know why white people win? White people win because they like the taste of blood. They like laying waste to all their opponents. So they can sit on top of a mountain and they can jerk off onto the masses below and they don't give a fuck who they have to step on. They're willing to be monsters. They're the kind of monsters that would convince the whole world that their cruelty is just and loving. No apology. That's a fucking winner. That's a fucking winner. If Spicks get their head out their asses long enough, they have seen that we shouldn't be afraid of the conquerors. We should be the fucking conquered. They have a culture of winning. Why the fuck wouldn't I want that, huh? Wouldn't you? If you say no, then I gotta ask. Why are you living in the U.S. and not in your precious Isla del Encanto, huh?
¿Qué pasó? What happened?
Where were you?
Titi Conchi is in the hospital. I was visiting her. Why were you crying?
You didn't come today. You said you would.
I couldn't. You know, I get no pleasure from those hearings.
Yeah, I thought I did. Some sort of catharsis. Seeing those bastards on the stand getting grilled in public, I thought it would be like seeing them hanged repeatedly.
And today?
Today, they confessed. Cruz, he was the officer who said our son's last words were, "If you are going to kill me, shoot me in the head so I don't suffer." How brave. So much braver than me. Why did I never tell him?
You don't need to be shot in the head to be brave.
I know, but que cojones to say that to your killer, you know? I didn't think he had it in him.
You know the first march I ever took him to? The police fired rubber bullets and tear gas at the crowd.
Yeah. I remember that. He told me he thought it was fun.
He didn't want to leave. He said, Mommy, we didn't finish the march.
When Cruz confessed, I thought that this weight that's been on my chest would go away. It's still there. Even feeling pride in Kike's courage just made me miss him more. And I'm so angry. I'm just so angry that I can't stop feeling this. And I just... This is the most you've touched me in months. Used to be, we were the couple bragging about being together for over 10 years and still unable to keep our hands off one another. Even Kike teased us.
Kissing again? I thought you were happy. I felt betrayed that you could just move on with your life.
You and I...
You're not the person I married.
You remind me of him. No, he had your eyes and your smile.
You laugh like him. And the way you both walk into rooms, fill them with your presence. I can't stand your laugh. And when your friends come over and you all start talking politics, it sounds so much like him. I don't like having meals with you because you both smack your lips.
How can I be married to someone who hates how I eat, how I laugh or walk or talk?
Well, I can't pluck my eyes out or cut off my mouth, so.
How can we move forward? How can you ever love me again?
We just...
Hello? No, this is her husband. It's a doctor from the hospital.
Hello? Yes. When? Thank you. I'll be there shortly. Thank you so much. Titi Conchi just passed.
How do you feel?
I feel nothing. Eusebio died on a Saturday, 2 weeks after we separated. His sister said he drank himself to death because of me and spat in my face. I can't say that I blame her, though. I know the truth. Sometimes a body dies long after the heart has stopped beating. I saw it on his face the day I moved to Titi Conchi's house in La Perla. My first days here, I felt such freedom in my solitude. For 5 years, I had begged for silence, to reflect, to heal, to either return to the person I was or create someone new. But in silence, there is nothing to stop your thoughts, memories, and regrets. I would walk along the streets and coastline and not be able to bring myself to talk to anyone. Consumed by my dead, consumed by the indifference of the universe, consumed by how empty I felt. One day I walked out from the rocks at high tide and I waited. I waited for a wave to knock me off my balance. I wouldn't fight it. I would accept my fate. I stepped out from the rocks and into the sea when a hand grabbed me by the arm. And I saw a fisherman with loving eyes and a king's smile. My Pedro, who refused to let me sink, who carried me back to the shore, who visited me the next day and the day after until I didn't want to be alone anymore.
Jugamos domino.
Dale, unos dominó.
All right, put it together.
Estos son los buenos. Unos dominos.
3 years in La Perla.
Pela, eso es. Una pela. A ver, 7 para ti. 4, 3. Eso. Ay, es un montón. Tu La Perla, salud. And another shot for Titi Conchi, huh? Otro.
Okay.
For leaving me.
One of those nights, huh?
For leaving me this house, this refuge. Salud.
Salud, preciosa. Okay, no cheating this time.
If only you knew how poorly I play with you, and yet I still win.
Mira, I never used to lose before you came here.
Oh,
huh?
you know what? I have a hard time believing that. Should we ask Emeterio next time we have Sunday dinner?
Emeterio has a bad memory.
All right, you got a double 6?
Double 5s.
You go first?
Ooh.
You see, I am fair. I could have said ladies first.
Ladies? Did I miss something?
I was gonna make alcapurrias, but okay, you know. I'll have to eat them all by myself.
I need to lose weight anyways, huh? Puñeta!
Your game just started and you're about to have a stroke. Cálmate,
I
nene.
don't know why we're celebrating you moving here. My life was so much happier before that, huh?
Oh, how quickly things change.
I don't know how that husband put up with you for so long.
Well, now you know why we separated.
I wish I could have bought him a drink when we had a chance, huh?
Oh, you know what? He wouldn't have liked you. He tended not to like the men who undress me with their eyes.
See. We were having such a good time. I could change the station.
Oh, no. He loved Cheo. Ay, it's a beautiful song. Don't change it.
I know what you're talking about. When my Natalia died,
I had to get rid of all our Ares Chacon and La Lupe records. I still can't hear those songs, huh?
You know, Titi Conchi would watch Kike on Fridays so I could go dancing. She raised her sons all by herself too, and she would always say you cannot be a good mother to your son unless you're a good woman to yourself. You know, there was this club nearby, El Coqui, and I would meet my friend Teresa at the club.
The one that won't talk to you?
Right. You know, I try to apologize, but she just...
Slam the door in your face, huh?
Right. Can't say that I blame her. Anyway, I would meet my friend Teresa, and she was dating the doorman at the time. And all night long, I would forget all about my responsibilities and just be young. I wish she would have known me then.
Ay, mi amor, we met when we needed to.
Wee. Momentito. You think I forgot? Come on.
Never.
I'm sorry. You know, it still doesn't feel right to be happy. You know, you look like Ike's father. The way you looked at me, that's how he used to look at me before I was pregnant. He was older, but still a teenager, and he didn't understand how to deal with being a father. And this is terrible to admit, but I think I married Eusebio because I admired him more than because I loved him. He treated me so well, and I wanted to be good to him, but when Kike died, a part of me felt like I lost his father again as well.
Not everything's logical, Adria. The world tries to teach us that life makes sense, but our heart knows that we're wild and doesn't always understand why we feel the way we feel, huh?
I came to La Perla so I wouldn't have to explain myself anymore. People leave you alone here. I thought getting away from the world would cure me of my pain. But it's still here. And at the worst times.
Worst times? What are you talking about, worst times? Ha! I'm winning!
Not anymore.
As it should be.
I'm sorry that I can't be more for you. It's not that I don't want to.
I know. You'll say? Oh, my God.
Pero el juego. I feel safe. I never thought I'd feel safe again.
When we first met, I knew I would love you. We laugh, we argue, sometimes on days like today. I do everything possible to bring you joy. But I know that most of what I feel is one-sided. You love me in your own way. But life has burnt the pathways to your heart. I content myself in being your friend, a beloved friend. I used to think life had torn up my heart and condemned me to this small strip of forgotten land, this last piece of viejo Puerto Rico, but you have showed me something as beautiful. Every day I go fishing. I marvel at the light of the waves. I cheer when I make a catch. I savor the flavors of each bite, all because of you. You have made me see the happiness within the pain, embrace the wonders that surround our sadness. I want to be happy, to show you you can be too. I want to laugh so you don't forget how. Don't be ashamed of your wounds, mi amor. For every bullet that's pierced your soul has made you the woman you are today. A woman I cherish. A woman that brings me life. I love you. Like the sun loves the earth every night it kisses its shores. I love you like the wind that dances with the palm trees at night. I love you. As humble man as I may be. And you know what? You'll never know. You'll never know.
What's for dessert?
Oh, yeah.
Bote.
Right there, man. Gonzo, what brings you here?
We need to talk.
Can this wait until after dinner? At least take a seat before you make a scene.
I am done talking to you. I want to hear from the Capitan.
What did I tell you? When the Capitan is ready to speak to you, you'll know.
Fuck you. I don't need your permission.
Well, then I suggest you, sit your fucking ass down before you make more of a scene. Go. So, what's on your mind?
I told you. I want to speak to the Capitan. You and me, we have talked enough. I've waited 8 years for my meeting. I'm not going to wait another day.
Then I suggest you not waste your opportunity. He's right there.
You said I could trust you.
You were acquitted, weren't you? Every other agent involved in that mess is in jail, except for you.
What's the good of being acquitted if my reputation is shit?
That's your own fault, Gonzo.
Like I said, I'm not here to talk to you.
Okay. Go ahead.
I did what you told me to do. From the beginning, you said the nationalists needed to be taken care of, or else we'll end up like Cuba or Vietnam.
Did he tell you to kill anyone?
You said I could trust you. That you had the answers, and if I followed you, I would be a hero. Instead, I'm suspended and I can't.
Completely unrelated incident.
I can't find a job. Nobody would even act as a reference. The FBI won't take me. The government won't hire me. I can't even get a job as a fucking security guard.
You want a job? Come here. I got one. We can go out back and you can jerk me off for $10.
What the fuck did I do to you, huh?
Is that really how you're gonna act in front of the Capitan?
No te burles, cabrón.
Then quit making jokes.
Stop interrupting me.
Hey, Capitan, you want a leash for your dog?
¡Basta ya! Carajo, no puede uno ni comer en paz, carajo. You're indignant. I respect that. Shows that you're a true believer. I mean, that's why I hired you. Pero I think you've lost perspective. You want to talk? Let's talk. The system always wins. ¿Entiendes? It always wins. That's why I'm an estadista. Not because I love los Yankees more than I love my own people. It's because I am a realist. See, the independentistas, they would have you believe you change the government and Puerto Rican society will be able to do whatever it wants. As if when Fidel won, they didn't wind up right back under the influence of another empire dictating the terms of their revolution. A joke! Guerrilleros, activistas, union organizers, all screaming against the wall, bigger than they will ever be. You want to change the world? Find a way to make a rich man richer. The system is tolerant. The system is progressive. It's even democratic, even if it's for a cause that it can later exploit. We don't love the United States. We love the system that keeps our bellies full and our minds distracted. Alejandro, there are no people on this earth who allow fear to dictate their actions more than Puerto Ricans do. And some, of course, the independentistas, they think that's a weakness. Pero yo no. Not me. I believe that our people are clear-headed enough to understand the truth that the rest of the world denies, that the overlords that dictate the terms of how this world is run will never, nunca, no matter how much change occurs, be defeated. The system adapts through evolution or destruction. It endures. Coño. What makes you so special? Huh? You think the system gives a rat's ass about a low-level pendejo like you? Alejandro, I taught you so much, huh? But it seems that the only thing that you took from all of this was that if you suck Uncle Sam's dick, then somehow you matter. You're just a rat in a maze, lost, confused. Carajo, it took you 8 years to throw a temper tantrum in my face? Puñeta, and you don't understand why you're alone? You will never have power because you don't respect your place in this world.
That's good.
I thought being on the right side of history would protect me. I know I messed up, but does loyalty mean nothing to you anymore? Can you just help me this one last time, please?
your eyes? Have you no dignity?
This is what you wanted, no? To see me laying on concrete, my guts spilling out lifeless? You begged for this moment. My assassins, the volunteer organization for the revolution, thought that getting rid of me and the other cops involved in Cerro Maravilla would rally the people to their cause. Just as the macheteros thought shooting up a Navy bus in 79 and blowing up National Guard planes in 81 would bring about the revolution. You see me here, bleeding out, and can imagine the solidarity in the nationalist community coming to a head. Tanks being stolen from National Guard posts and driven up the streets of Viejo San Juan all the way to La Fortaleza. Yet, in reality, nobody cared. My corpse didn't even warrant a full investigation.
We gave the terrorists a sacrificial lamb to satisfy their bloodlust. Once Gonzo was out of the picture, well, Puerto Ricans saw nationalists as a joke or a threat. Sure, they had their moments, that Viejes, when Filiberto was assassinated, but not even that could stop Puerto Ricans from supporting statehood. Not even Hurricane Maria can stop us. We've been here before. Beaten, on the mat, only to rise again. Hundreds of thousands overthrew Ricky, and all you got was another estadista victory with Pierluisi. Nationalists, they're dying off. Populares are dying off. Estadistas? We're getting younger, bolder, stronger. Pat yourselves on the back with your righteousness. That's all you have left. You have no support, no base, no future.
We are the future. And if you don't like it, what are you going to do about it?
Me asustaste, nene.
No
Me caso en
pare.
nada.
What are you all dressed up for?
Why do you think I went to church?
Espérate. You went to church today.
Well, not to pray. I went to La Catedral to see the statue of Mary draped with our flag. You know, I thought about when I was a child, just putting that flag in your window could get you thrown in jail. And now it's hung up in a church, a mausoleum, buried with all our other heroes. I believed in that flag. I believed in Don Pedro and de Hostos. I even believed in Berrios for a time.
What do you believe in now?
Silence. Silence and God.
You know, you confuse me. How can you possibly believe in God, huh? A smart woman like you.
Ay, not the God of the Bible or the Americans, just My own personal goddess. I understand it.
But why?
Join me for breakfast, huh? And I'll explain. Te
Es mi
explico.
placer.
You know, when I heard the news about Gonzales Malavé's death, it brought me no comfort, no joy. Everything he stood for still existed. What a fucked up people we are, huh? We call giving in to our colonial overlords progress. Forget Spanish. The only language we've known since the Tainos were ripped out of existence. Forget it. It is a language of dark people, dark blood, dark hearts. Forget your traditions, forget your spirit. Forget the beauty of skin as dark as burnt caramel. So dark it's almost blue. Of brown eyes and nappy hair, whose depths reach the heart of the earth. Marry right, marry white. Speak English. It is progress to be like an American. Progress to speak like an American. Progress to wrap those bars and stars around you and forget and forget and forget.
I think I forgot your point.
Well, you can have breakfast elsewhere, so. But that American flag, what has it ever done for us? That flag closed the sugar industry in the name of protecting white Louisiana farmers. That flag closed the coffee industry, once the most sought after beans in Europe. That flag sterilized our women, experimented on our men, bombed our land until it was no longer fertile. But that flag is progress. And anyone who tells you different will put a bullet in their heads.
Yet we stand strong, determined than ever.
Do we really? We who live in exile.
Recharging our batteries for when the rest of the island wakes up, baby.
Oh, yes. Our armchair revolution where we all get to be heroes and not shed a drop of blood.
You know, today's revolutionary is tomorrow's tyrant. Okay, I'd rather be a righteous loser than a monstrous winner.
Okay, but what do you really win? Land that was never yours and people who resent you for it.
Then what's the point of it all then for, huh? And why bring a God into this?
I'll tell you. You know, I lost my son because he loved his country. Every Latin American will tell you that loving your country is the quickest way to die. We must love the United States. We must dream within the United States. There's no other option, let alone our own people. My son believed that being Puerto Rican made him important until a cop decided one day to show him the error of his ways. We're animals, savage, heartless. So you ask me, why do I believe in God? Last week, I drove into La Cordillera past Caguas. I found a place where I could see the stars. I watched the universe swirl above me, and I became aware of how the light from the stars couldn't reach me. There was no moon. I was just another shadow on a lonely hill. I thought about if life existed in those distant galaxies. I thought about whether anyone in those galaxies were aware of our existence. And then I thought of God. And that if He is the creator of everything and chose to keep us apart, thinking we were the only creatures in the entire universe, what does that say about us? We can be forgotten. We can be erased. All my life, I wondered why people believed in some invisible creature no one has ever seen. And here it was. The people who seek out God the most are the most oppressed, most deeply suffering people. We believe because we need to know there's an end to our suffering. When this planet finally spits us out, there will be no eulogy, no procession, only silence. That is God's promise to mankind. Where there's no men, there is no past, there is no injustice. You, Kike, you wouldn't have died on that mountain. You would be free. I would be free. The great valleys and beaches of Puerto Rico would be free, wiped clean from the memory of time. But the system always wins. Nothing ever changes. Nothing ever changes. Nothing ever changes until